Hello, welcome to Flutterbug Auto. Today I'm talking about the second entry in Nintendo's short-lived Excite series revival on the Wii, ExciteBots Trick Racing. So this game is... honestly, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if I can say enough about this game, or adequately explain it. This game is just so much. I guess we should start with the basics. This game has all of the same features as Excite Truck. Same boost mechanics, same topography changing power-ups, same truck smashes, now of course called bot smashes, same tree run, you still get rewarded for crashing. If you could do it in Excite Truck, you can do it here. And of course, check out my video about that game for all the details. Also of note is the change in art style. Excite Truck went for kind of a gritty, realistic look, or at least as much of that look as could be done on the Wii. But ExciteBots, while similar, is much more bright and colorful and stylized. Everything is a bit more cartoonish, though they do still have pretty detailed textures. And it also adds some new locations, like Egypt and Kilimanjaro, which is nice. There's also some much wilder and more over-the-top set pieces on some of the tracks too. There's a decent number of new locations, it really adds to the variety. And of course, the vehicle designs. We have to talk about those. So basically, the series has gone from motorbikes to trucks, now to these extremely unique transforming vehicles shaped like various small animals called bots, which I presume by the name are like autonomous vehicles, and they are just... I've never played a game with anything else like this. They get up and fucking walk around. Look at them. I'm also a fan of the fact that most of the vehicle designs are based on bugs, because I love bugs, as you might imagine based on my usernames. My personal favorite is the grasshopper. And also, of course, there's the... So anyway, that's like the basic details out of the way. So what exactly is ExciteBots doing differently from Excite Truck? Well, the better question is, what isn't it doing? A list of some of the new features in ExciteBots in no particular order: kicking soccer balls into goals, hitting baseballs, grinding on rails, going fishing, rescuing butterflies, hitting clowns in the face with pies, throwing darts, playing the tambourine, making a sandwich. I don't even know how they came up with half this stuff. Working on this game must have been an amazing experience. Clearly they just kept coming up with ideas and just put them all in, no matter what they were. It's so fucking amazing. There's literally no other video game, not even just racing games, video games in general, that I've played that feels like this game. It's beyond comparison. It's a really solid and fast racing game, just like Excite Truck, and it's so full of bullshit, just like Excite Truck. But the amount of bullshit has been increased to such a degree that there's just a million things to pay attention to, and so many weird little activities to multitask trying to pull off while you're driving. It's so absolutely bonkers. There's even occasionally a Mario Kart item system, because, you know, why not? There's even animated parts of the track sometimes, there's giant dinosaur skeletons that come to life, and there's these big rock monster guys. The game is just an assault on the senses in the best way possible. Pretty much the only new gimmick I didn't care for much was the red bars, where you have to swing the rear remote around in time with your vehicle until you charge up to release. And firstly, I'm not very good at anything rhythm related, personally. So that kind of takes away from it for me, though it is, of course, just a skill issue. But it also kind of just halts the proceedings for a bit. Most of the game is so fast-paced and extreme on the shenanigans. So just bringing everything to a stop to swing for a bit interrupts the action in a way that kind of annoys me. But it's not that bad, and it's I don't know, I could see people getting a lot of fun out of it still. Also, because of all these new mechanics and thusly new ways to score stars, the star requirements in this game are vastly increased and honestly more difficult to accomplish than in Excite Truck, which I do enjoy. I'm a big fan of score attack systems in racing games. That's why I enjoy Mario Kart Tour so much, despite that game being, you know, what it is. Not a typical Mario Kart game. Having a high score goal in a racing game is just that cool to me. The side votes in this game are a lot of fun too. The minigames are all dedicated to individual mechanics from the game, like the sports mechanics or gliding, things like that. So it's really fun to have a way to practice them and just to kind of flesh out the ideas that each gimmick has. It's a lot of fun. Excite Truck had minigames too, but I didn't really like them that much or think that they were very well suited to the game. I didn't even end up talking about them in my video about that game, but here in ExciteBots they're much better executed and I think worth playing. And also, on top of everything else, the game has a mode called Poker Race, which is yet again unlike anything else I've ever played. Now you're racing while also juggling a game of poker on top of things, and it's so fucking stupid. I love it. It's very difficult too, as you might imagine trying to drive and play poker simultaneously would be. And I'm not very good at it yet, but I absolutely love that it exists. There is nowhere else you're going to see a mechanic like this. I'm like, my god, it's a crying shame that this game is not more well known and remembered. I've only ever heard about this game in passing. Like, I've heard about it less often than ExciteTrack, and like less than ExciteBots 64 even. It's such an amazing game, unlike anything else I've ever played. So I think honestly it's one of the most slept on games of all time. Certainly the most slept on Nintendo game in my opinion. I think part of the problem was just that 2009 was a year full of big Nintendo releases. You had like new Super Mario Bros. Wii and Bowser's Inside Story, the new Play Control GameCube re-releases, Spirit Tracks, Punch-Out Wii, fucking Wii Sports Resort. There's a ton of games people remember from that year, and this one just kind of fell through the cracks. It apparently just wasn't really marketed that much or anything. Also, of note, is that Mario Kart Wii came out the year prior, so I think most people were occupied with that for racing on the Wii still too. The developer of the Wii Excite games was busy that year too. The WiiWare game Excitebike World Rally actually also released in 2009. That one's pretty good too. I've got a whole video on that one coming up next week to finish up my coverage of the Wii Excite series. Oh, and while I'm on the topic of the developer, Monster Games, it seems like they had a pretty strong reputation with Nintendo for a while. Almost all of their games are racing games, but for a brief while there, in the early 2010s, they made a detour to make a bunch of non-racing games for Nintendo. They were responsible for the 3DS launch title Pilot Wings Resort, the ports of Donkey Kong Country Returns and Xenoblade Chronicles to the 3DS and new 3DS, and they even straight up co-developed Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. How wild is that? They went back to the NASCAR Heat series after that, which was actually recently discontinued and pulled off of Steam, and now they're owned by iRacing and have been making dirt racing sim racers. I can't get over that brief Donkey Kong detour though. But anyway, yeah, please play ExciteBots. It's fucking amazing and deserves so much more attention than it gets. And honestly, I think it might just straight up be the best video game ever created. It's just that fun and creative to me. So yeah, as always, I've got plenty more racing game content coming up. See you soon!